Hello everyone, welcome back to Painscreek Killings. We are continuing on our murder mystery. We have 3 suspects. Well, I have 3 suspects. Whether or not I'm right about my suspects is debatable. Alright, we figured out how to use the camera. Camera is used for capturing anything important in your investigation. P to view the pictures I take. Okay, so we figured out how to use the camera. So before I go forward with anything, I'm gonna go back and take some pictures of things that I might have missed. But our main objective for this episode is to get in the mansion, which is right here. So, yeah, getting in the mansion is our main objective for today. But first, we're going to take some pictures. So, I want to go back to that burnt down house. Actually, none of these are houses. I wouldn't call these houses. Take a picture of that weird, this thing. Oh, I didn't finish what I was saying. So the 3 suspects, I think, is the one that's obvious is Scott. I really don't think Scott did it, and the only reason, like, it's just so obvious. He was the last one seen with Vivian. The times fit, but it's just, it's too obvious. All right, I need to be on Silver Lake Boulevard. My other suspect is the priest. And my third suspect is actually the cop. Because why was the investigator's key in the police, the police house thingy? Unless the police is just trying to cover something up. So maybe the sheriff didn't have anything really to do with it. He's just trying to cover up a killing. Okay, we made it to the mansion. Now let's have a look around. Vivian was found outside of the mansion. I don't know if that means outside of the gate or just outside of the door. We're gonna look around outside before we go inside. This is a nice house. We may need a key to get inside the house. This looks like we need a key to get inside this little shed. Oh, we need a combination. Alright, well, we don't have a combination to get inside the shed. We do have a combination to the security room. We got that from the investigator. What's this over here? Nope, can't get through there. Oh, we can just walk right in. Okay. This is a big house. We have to search every inch of this house. This is going to take a while. Anyone delivering food to church on Saturdays, please lock all the doors and return the key under the flower pot before leaving. Alright, well, we already knew about the flower pot. Let's go this way. It's so big, I don't know where to start. I would need curtains on these windows though, for sure. Trisha, Derek, Charles, and Bernard. Oh, Bernard has a key. Shifts. I forgot to return the servant's room key in time, so I left the key in the kitchen drawer. Sorry about that. Okay, so the servant's room key is in the kitchen drawer. So we gotta get back to the kitchen. this is lovely. "20 years later, Painscreek still honors the lives of coal mine workers. Despite shock and pain, it was a tragedy that united everyone. 20 years ago, 6 members of this village, together with 13 others from the towns of Hillsdale and Old Creek, perished in one of the coal mine demolition programs. The coal mine belonged to the Roberts Mining Company. Vivian Roberts, who had just married into the Roberts family, started a fundraising event that raised $69,000, contributing $24,000 from her own company. A total of $120,000 was compensated to the 6 families. This is a very small sum compared to what those families lost, and no amount of money can replace their loved ones," Vivian told the press. "What we can do, however, is provide them with whatever help they may need, and for those who have helped financially, the Roberts family thanks you." The words not only comforted those families, blah, 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 blah. The incident that would forever be remembered by villagers of Painscreek. A sheet that counts scores. Security room. Is this what we have the... Yeah, we do. We have the code for this. 0, 2, 2. Employee information. Bernard Hopkins. Regular employee. He was the butler. He works 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Derek was the chauffeur. Derek's rather handsome. Wanda, housework. Andrew looks scary. Maintains the Roberts mansion. Okay, so he was maintenance man. Oh, there's little remarks about them. Okay, there's no remarks about Bernard and no remarks about Derek. Wanda, currently hospitalized. She will resume her work when discharged. Andrew, hardworking and trusted by Vivian. Dorothy is a nanny. Longest hired employee at the Roberts family. Mary, previously worked at Moon Cafe. Let's see. March 18th, 1994. Someone ran through the garden last night. A man about 5'5", wearing a hooded sweater, climbed the fence wall into the garden. He proceeded to run into the backyard and jumped over the back wall. March 25th. A new stack of VHS tapes has arrived. Please use new tapes instead of recording over existing ones. April 6th. I came across a note by Magdalene Roberts stuck between one of the old logbooks. It was requesting the search of a missing security tape dated June 28, 1975. It seems the tape was never found. May 28th, we have new security guard coming in today. His name is Samuel Green. Tom Parker will be his mentor to get him up to speed. July 4th, Andrew came to the mansion at around 11 p.m. He was very drunk. Scott was called. He arrived around 11:15 and brought Andrew home. August 12th, today marks Tom Parker's 20th year since he started to work at the mansion. He will be retiring from his position next month to take care of his alien wife. November 2nd, there's a strange tale going around Painscreek recently. Stephanie, a 6-year-old girl, got lost during Halloween. Apparently, she followed some fireflies in the woods and could not get back home. Her parents called the sheriff. They conducted a search but could not find her. 2 hours later, Stephanie got home safe and sound. When asked how she found her way back, Stephanie said a young lady found her crying and brought her back. She didn't know the lady's name, but remembered her being pretty and having long black hair. She was wearing a black dress, similar to what the mansion maids wear at work. The strange thing is that when I asked around, all the maids said they were working that evening. Keys. We have keys. We got the tea room, Trisha's room, and the nanny's room. Okay. How am I supposed to know which door is what? Aha! November 20th, 1972. There's a newly hired maid named Sophia. I think Matthew recommended her, saying that she's his cousin. She's very pretty and has very good manners. She's a quick learner too and does whatever she's told to do. She's very eager, asking a lot on what she should do, how she should act, and what Charles and Vivian are present how to be perfect at her job. I like her already. March 10th, 1973. The guys delivering food to the mansion were gawking at Sophia as if they'd never seen a pretty girl before. I had to ask Sophia to go back into the house, otherwise someone might have funny ideas. Her uniform needs a little more cover. June 20th, Matthew sometimes comes over and checks to see if Sophia is doing okay. I tell him he's worrying too much, as Sophia is loved by all. Matthew seems pleased every time I say this. If I didn't know better, I'd think that Matthew liked her. September 24th. It rained heavily today. Sophia and I were having our tea break when she asked me, "What does it feel to be loved?" I said, "Well, it's like the feeling you get when you are with your parents." She was quiet for a moment and then replied, "It's hard for me to imagine because I don't have parents." I didn't know what to say to her at that time, but after the break was over, I decided to make effort to care for her more. What's this over here? Dear Charles, I have worked here for more than 20 years, and I'm so glad that I was able to spend time here with everyone. I greatly appreciate the opportunities you gave me and the time I spent with Trisha. Trisha was everything to me, and she loved me. She smiled whenever I called her. I wish I could have given her more. Despite what has happened here in Painscreek, there are moments of pure joy that we've all shared together. I will hold on to these memories. I'm sorry that I'm leaving and won't be able to serve you anymore. Thank you for everything. Please take care of yourself. Sincerely, Dorothy. Can we straighten this up? No, whatever. September 23rd, 1994. I can't believe that Andrew tried to kill himself again. Thank God for Scott. I cannot imagine what would have happened if Scott wasn't there to save him. Andrew was never like this when Laura and Daniel were here. Even as his wife, I doubt Laura has any idea why Andrew turned out this way. I can't blame her for leaving him and taking their son. I wonder if they've contacted each other since then. October 10th. I visited Andrew at the hospital today. He seemed different. He looked calm, as if he had somehow managed to find peace within himself. The attending nurse said Scott has been here almost every day, taking care of him and being with him. Andrew has been talking a lot with Scott. Andrew told me he's ready to see Laura and Daniel again. I'm glad to hear that. I should call Laura and tell her the good news. February 13th. Scott came to fix my leaking sink today. He did a wonderful job. I offered him tea and we talked quite a bit, mostly about Charles and Vivian. I showed him my old photo album. To my surprise, Scott became very quiet. He asked me if he could borrow one of the photographs. I don't see why not. He thanked me and left in a hurry. I should call Laura and tell her about Andrew's situation. June 19th. It's ironic that Andrew died shortly after being saved. I met Laura and Daniel at Andrew's funeral today. Daniel reminded me of Andrew. I can't believe he's already 15 years old. Last I saw him, he was only 7. Laura said Andrew had been sending them money these last few years. She had been considering to return to Painscreek so they could be together again. If only I had called Laura before the fire accident. I feel so sorry for them. I can't open this? Nope. Scott seems like a good guy. I don't think he's a killer. Alright, we're not getting in there. Sorry, we gotta go back to the kitchen and get the servant's key. Okay, so the servant's key is in one of these kitchen drawers. Not in that one. Shopping list for Trisha's birthday. 3 packs of balloons. That's a lot of balloons. Candles, new table sheets, baking powder, eggs, strawberries. Key. Okay, got the key. Oh, okay. There's an attic. Here's Trisha's room, balcony. Not that I ever use maps. I don't have another code. So let's go upstairs. Okay. This must be Trisha's room. Trisha requested that all her books be brought to her room in the hospital. All her books? Good lord. How many books does she have? Scott's a strange kid. Very quiet. November 13th, 1988. I don't think it's right for the other boys to bully him and call him names. I wonder why Scott's parents didn't want him. Oh, jeez. January 6th, 1989. I don't like after-school programs, especially ballet. It's difficult and boring, and I hate proper etiquette. What's wrong with being myself? I don't need to be like Mom. August 3rd. I haven't seen Dad for a while. I wonder when he'll be back. Every time I enter the study room, I can smell his tobacco smell. It's the perfect reminder when he's gone for so long. I miss Dad. Mom's always working. She's so busy with other people that she has no time for me. Sometimes I wonder if Mom loves me. Maybe I should call Dorothy Mother instead. Study room code. Here's the code. Okay, let's write this down. Four, 871. And a key. A cabin key. Could it be to Scott's cabin? Do we finally have Scott's cabin key? Why is... I know it's not this key. Notes for Vivian's tea schedule. Tea time is at 3:20 on the dot. Use the flower pattern cup for Mondays. Gold line cups are for guests. Use half cup of milk. Always leave sugar on the side. Never interrupt unless she calls for you. Jeez. So specific. Nelson Brown investigation. Investigation on Painscreek Community Hospital donation funds. Dear Mrs. Vivian Roberts, our latest investigation shows that Dr. Henry Johnson has been embezzling funds from the Roberts Relief Foundation. He's sending a portioned amount to an offshore private account under the name Jefferson Investments. Every 5th of the month, an exact amount of $9,990 is being transferred, supposedly for the payment of medical supplies and equipment. However, neither the equipment nor the medical supplies could be accounted for. This has been going on for the past 16 months. As of now, the total amount embezzled is $160,000. The doctor's been embezzling money. Ooh. There's a bunch of hate mail stored here. How does it feel to ruin the lives of many? You costed me my job, you heartless witch. You don't deserve to live. So she made people lose their job. The plot thickens. Why would you keep hate mail? February 3rd, 1995. Oh, my eyeball itches. I was cleaning the mansion's attic today when I found Derek and Wanda's old stuff. I asked Derek about it, and he told me he used to live here with his mom until he was about 6 years old. We chatted for like an hour. I've never talked to him that much. It felt quite nice talking with him, rather relaxing. March 3rd. I had to interact with Bernard today. His left wrist was swollen pretty badly. When I asked what happened, he claimed he fell during rock climbing and twisted his left hand, so he can't help with writing the Easter invitations this year. I told him he only needs his right hand for writing. He looked at me as if I was joking. How could I have known he was left-handed? April 17th. Dorothy asked me to help clean her house tomorrow. I didn't know she has her own place. I thought she lived with the Roberts family in the nanny's room. She said she hasn't used the house for the past few months, but it needs to be taken care of every now and then. She'll be 60 this year. I think I should help her. P.S. The address is 40 Black Pine Road. Do I need to know that? Should I write that down? Yeah, let's write that down. So, the nanny lives in 40 Black Pine Road. Trisha and Vivian had an argument during dinner. Vivian is thinking to send Trisha to college, but Trisha wants to be with Scott. She's not thinking straight. June 1st. I was about to clean the gallery when I noticed the door was already slightly open. I looked inside and saw Mr. Roberts standing in front of a painting. Right before he left, I heard a faint click. As he was leaving the gallery, I hid in the staircase hallway. When I was sure he was gone, I went into the gallery to see what he was so entranced by. It's just a painting of an old woman with white headband. I wonder what's so interesting about this lady. Me too. There will be a grand party to celebrate Trisha's birthday this evening. She will officially be 21. Trisha and Scott are meeting at the shed behind the mansion. They call it their secret hideout. I know Vivian doesn't want Trish to be with Scott. Should I tell her about it? No, I'll leave him alone. Dr. Johnson is dead. He was the head of Painscreek Community Hospital as well as the Roberts family doctor. The police came by and asked if Vivian would be willing to go down to the station for another interview. I was nervous, but Vivian was very calm and accepted their request. She came back in the evening and assured us that everything was okay. She had nothing to do with Dr. Johnson's death. His death was purely an accident. Or was it? I was cleaning Mrs. Roberts' tea room when I stumbled across a pile of letters full of negative comments addressed to her. Why on earth does she keep those letters? She, more than anybody in this town, doesn't deserve to be attacked by these faceless cowards. These people cannot see the positive impact she has made for this community. It's not her fault that her business deals can't please everyone. There's a lot of twists and turns happening in this little storyline. I need to report Scott to Bernard. His suspicious acts are getting out of hand. Today I saw him peeking into Mr. and Mrs. Roberts' room from the window. He's been told too many times now not to do this. Scott is a suspicious fellow. I can't wait to get into that cabin. But first, we have to find the gallery. We have a code. We have a code for what now? The study room. Where was that at? Is that this? No, this had a lock. Was that downstairs? I can't remember. This place is too big. Oh, found the gallery. Okay. Well, that was easy. March 14th, 1993. We went hunting this afternoon. Scott's quite a fast learner. He has good manners, too. I told him to call me Charles, but he kept saying it's more appropriate to call me Mr. Roberts. He almost got the deer on his second try. If he keeps this up, I'll take him over Bernard as my hunting partner. June 11th. Trisha's been rather obvious in her interest. He's a good-looking young man and respectful to others. I don't mind his status. There's nothing wrong with being an orphan. If there is, it's the parents' fault. I know that Trisha fancies him. I've grown to like him too. August 27th. Today is Mom's death anniversary. It's been 18 years since she passed away. I paid my respects at her tombstone. Vivian wasn't feeling well and chose not to come, so I asked Scott to accompany me. He brought fresh lilies and said lilies suggest that the soul of the deceased has returned to a peaceful state. Sometimes I feel like he's a son to me. Now that I think about it, Vivian is always getting sick during this time of year. September 8th. I knew our relationship would not be as close as we had it, but ever since Vivian discovered my affair, she hasn't been the same. She once joked to her friends during a dinner that all politicians are alike, and as a politician's wife, she has learned to close one eye. Sometimes I feel sorry for her. I think it was because of Trisha that she didn't leave me. She's a good wife and a good mother. I'm grateful for that. Alright, we gotta find the woman with the white headband. You. We don't have a combination. Maybe the combination's in the study. To the study. To the map. Map. Study, 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 study. Exo's room, guest room, maid room, balcony, Dorothy's room, security. I don't say anything about a study room. I guess it's got to be downstairs then, huh? Bam. All right, what are my numbers? Vivian Roberts' medical report. Dear Charles, Vivian's situation is currently stabilizing. She has accepted the fact that she cannot conceive anymore. Aww. However, she needs time to fully recover. A 6-month rehabilitation is necessary. Your presence at the hospital has been noted to upset her. This only helps prolong her recovery. I am suggesting that you try and refrain from visiting your wife until she's in better state to receive you. Your mother's desire for a boy to be an heir to your family has caused tremendous strain on her. Please consider addressing this issue with your mother. Painscreek Community Hospital regards a patient's recovery as the highest priority. Our staff will do their very best to help Vivian. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you. So, Charles's mother wants a grandson to carry on the family name. Well, we all can't have what we want, woman. Illustrated Medical and Health Encyclopedia. Store the item to the inventory. I guess I need that for some reason. Oh, I need idle. It's another code I don't have. Or do I have it? Wait, do I have it? I don't think I do. Why does everything have a code? Is it in here somewhere? Nope. Well, I don't think we have the code. But we do have... Let's get out of here. We do have keys. We have keys. Okay. I'm pretty sure we have a key to Bernard's house. We don't know where Bernard lives, but we can find out where Bernard lives. Do we have that in our records? We don't. So we got to go back to gotta go back upstairs. To the security room. Okay. Bernard lives, let's write this down. Bernard lives 31 Silver Lake. All right. Let's go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a key to his house. Okay. So let's leave the mansion for now. Oh, let's not run into the door. Okay. And go to Bernard's house. The numbers are going down. I need the numbers to go up. No, we want 31. It's 31 over. No, there is no 31 over there. 31. There's no way to unlock this door. Wait, here we go, 31. Right here. Vivian wrote a book. The axe display cabinet has been shattered. Oh, snap. Why does the man have an axe display cabinet? A display of military badges. AOL password. Study room locked desk hint. Subtract the yellow darts. Points from the red darts total. Oh, what? Aunt Cecilia's apartment code. Let's write Aunt Cecilia's apartment code down. January 3rd, 2 weeks ago, Scott came to me and asked about Sophia. I was surprised he knew about someone who used to work here 20 years ago. I told him that she was once a maid that worked here, but after a few years, she decided to leave the village. Today, I commented about the conversation to Vivian. She asked if Scott had said or asked anything else since then. I could see she felt uneasy. She told me to keep an eye on him. I find all this very unsettling. Derek doesn't seem too willing to drive for Vivian. I don't think a 5-day trip is that long. Charles often had trips longer than that, and Derek never seemed to mind them. Now that I think about it, Derek is unusually quiet when Vivian is around. He doesn't even look at her. It's like he's avoiding her. I wonder why. I've noticed Vivian has been getting increasingly paranoid whenever she sees Scott, to the point of being upset by his presence. She asked Charles to have someone replace Scott, but Charles kept him. He likes the boy. Maybe those hunting trips really bonded them. It's Dad's death anniversary today. I can't believe it's already been more than 2 decades. I visited his grave in the morning. His tombstone is full of fallen leaves. Looks like autumn has started. Mom's tombstone is covered with leaves too. I read today's newspaper and updated him on the things that happened here recently. As I sat there talking, I wondered if he could hear me. Will I just spend the rest of my life serving Charles and Vivian until I die? What will people remember me for? I saw Scott and Tricia today. They looked happy. I almost envied them. I think my chance at ever having a relationship with someone is over. What would my life be if I had accepted Angela? I don't think we would have been happy. She wasn't my type anyhow. Who is my type? Vivian? I don't know who. Oh. Okay, it sounds like Vivian was pretty shady. Maybe she deserved to die. Hyper in the chat room. Alright, now we're headed to the cabin. As soon as I find my way out of here. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's the cemetery. Alright, Scott, what are you hiding? This knife has a dull blade. Okay, well, that's important, I guess. It's got a cross on it, so I guess it's to the church. There's another key. What's that say? Chest box. Chest box. Oh, the chest in the church. So I guess we're headed to the church next. February 14th, Valentine's Day. I wanted to spend the day with Trisha, but Charles invited me to go hunting. I was nervous. Not because it's my first time hunting, but because it's with Trisha's dad. It turned out that I actually enjoyed being with him. I feel comfortable talking to him. June 18th. I don't get it. Why would Father Matthew forbid me to be with Trisha? Is it because I'm not rich? Or because I'm an orphan? He didn't explain anything to me. Maybe he doesn't love me anymore. I feel so confused. June 22nd. We quarreled again today. I couldn't stand Father Matthew's preaching attitude, so I yelled back at him. I know I shouldn't have done that, but I'm so frustrated. Father Matthew said that I'm not an orphan. What does that mean? Does he know who my parents are? I pressed him to keep talking, but he wouldn't tell me anything after that. I need to know more. July 31st. In these past weeks, it's become more difficult for me to talk to Father Matthew. Whenever we speak, he addresses only church stuff. I've realized that I'm starting to avoid Father Matthew. Whenever he asks me how my day was, I don't feel like answering him. When I ask him about my past, he's always trying to change the subject. I feel so frustrated. September 2nd. I moved out of the church. Father Matthew did not object, although he looked a bit sad. Mr. Roberts was kind enough to let me stay at his cabin if I'm willing to work for him as an assistant gardener. That way, the mansion garden can still be well maintained even when Andrew cannot make it. November 3rd. It's been a month since Charles gave me this cabin to stay. I still don't know where to start my investigation. Andrew has been drinking. Bernard asked me to bring him home today. Whenever he's drunk, he accuses himself, saying that he's a sinner. Sometimes he would mutter names that I've never heard of. All of the names I think I only recognize Magdalene. I just can't remember where I heard that name before. I just returned from orphanage and found out that it was Father Calvin who brought me there. The record sheet stated that I was from Painscreek. How? If I was born in Painscreek, there must be records of me in the hospital, but I've checked. There's none. I broke into Father Matthew's bedroom today. I shouldn't have done that, but he might have something that could tell me about my birth parents. He didn't have anything relevant. Andrew's drunk again. This is the 5th time I had to bring him home and then cover his shift. It's getting quite annoying. As I lay him down on his bed, he muttered repeatedly, "I'm so sorry, Sophia." Who's Sophia? Alright, we got some keys. To the church. So is Vivian Scott's mom? Ooh, did Vivian have an affair? And that's why she's against Trisha being with Scott? Because she doesn't want Trisha to be with Scott. Okay. Where am I going? Where am I headed? Nope, that's the confession room. Here we go. Alright, what we got in here? Key to basement. I think that's the basement key in the cabin. Maybe? Something I can think of. No, wait, pick up. I asked Andrew about Sophia. First, he freaked out, saying that I shouldn't go around speaking that name. Then he said he'd never heard that name in his life. Is he hiding something? Why would he lie about Sophia? This makes me want to know who Sophia is. I asked Wanda if she knew anything about Sophia. She said Sophia used to work as a maid in the mansion for a few years until she was let go. When asked why, Wanda said she didn't know. However, she thought that Sophia was a manipulative woman that would do anything to get what she wanted. Wanda resented that. I met Derek today and asked if he knew anyone by the name of Sophia. Apparently, he's not on speaking terms with me. I wonder if it's anything to do with Trisha. During today's lunch break, I asked Bernard if he knew about Sophia. He was surprised that I knew that name, but proceeded to say he did not know her that well. Somehow I feel uncomfortable whenever I talk with Bernard. His cold gaze gives me shivers. I met Dorothy while tending to the garden and asked her about Sophia. She looked confused. She was curious as to where I heard that name. I told her it came from Andrew. She kindly explained that Sophia was a close friend of hers when Sophia first came to work for the Roberts family. Unfortunately, she had an affair with Charles when Vivian was hospitalized. Shortly after, she left Painscreek. No one heard of her ever since. Dorothy thinks that Sophia has probably started a new life in another place. I wonder if the affair was the reason everyone's quiet about it. My baby boy. St. Patrick Orphanage. Dear Scott, my sister Rachel, although I wasn't here when you last came. Oh, I'm Sister Rachel, not my sister Rachel. I hope you remember me. I was your nursing mother after you arrived here those years ago. I understand that you came here earlier to find out how you came to be at St. Patrick's Orphanage. On July 4th, 1975, Father Kelvin came to us holding a basket with you in it. He said that you lost your parents and there's no one to take care of you. He told us, that your name was Scott. After you left, Sister Emma asked if I would be willing to take care of a baby. At first, I hesitated because it was a huge responsibility. But when I saw your face, so full of innocence and curiosity, I felt as if God himself had delivered you to me. I accepted the task. When you were 10, Father Matthew came to see you. He had just become the head priest of Painscreek Trinity Church. He visited often, usually at the beginning of the month. Whenever he left, he would leave an envelope containing a small sum of money. He said it was for everything you needed, and that whatever was left was then given to the orphanage. I would be lying to say that I wasn't sad when you left the orphanage, but when Father Matthew adopted you, I believed that your life would be better in Painscreek than here, and I dearly hope it's so. Everything enclosed within this package used to be yours. I think you should have these. May God bless you. Okay, so here's my hypothesis. Father Matthew is his biological father, and Vivian is his biological mother. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, we have another key with a cross on it, so let's see if we can't find out where that goes to. And we found it. January 16th. A few months have passed since I've arrived here. This missionary trip is harder than I expected. There's no clean water, the food lacks nutrients, and there isn't enough medicine. We have requested help from WHO, but haven't received any reply yet. I feel so frustrated. What can I do? When Father Kelvin first sent me here, he asked if I'd be willing to stay for 6 months. It would be good training for me, he said. I agreed. That was before I came. 6 months have now passed. I think I will extend this for another 6 months. The people here need me as much as they can get. Need as much help as they can get. I am not a doctor, but I can help them through my support and prayers. I will let Father Kelvin know about my decision. Time flies. I can't believe I'll be going home tomorrow. I will miss the people here. At the same time, I can't wait to get back home and meet everyone again. Father Kelvin summoned me this morning and told me that Sophia had left Painscreek. How can that be? The last time we rode, she told me she had so many things to share with me when I get back. Was she forced? Is she hiding something? I just cannot believe that Sophia left without telling me anything. Something must have happened to her that she could not tell me. It's been almost 6 months since Sophia left Painscreek. I have asked everyone around. No one seemed to know where she went. Father Kelvin told me to let it go. He's right. I should not dwell on matters of the heart. There are more important things in life that need focus on. If Sophia and I are meant to meet again, God will let me know. It's time to move on with my life. Attorneys at law. Dear Mr. Brooks, we have evaluated your case and we accept the request to represent your son, Scott Brooks, in court. We are in the process of drafting an appeal for his release. Considering the sensitivity of the situation, we urge you not to make any public statements until consulting with us. Additionally, we would like copies of any government documents related in any way to your son, medical records, transaction receipts, travel documents, previous criminal charges, if any, etc. The more we have, the better we can help your son's case. We will be in contact within the next few days. Alright. Scott's lawyers were $2,000. And then $3,000. Pilgrimage traveling fees. Youth program finances. Sunday teething? Tithing? What's tithings? I've heard that word before, but I can't remember what it is. Nothing in cha. I guess it's in here. Whoop. Okay. Maybe. to the cabin we go. Back to the cabin we go. More diaries. On Valentine's Day, Trisha gave me some chocolate. I've never been. What? Nope, that's not that word. I've never seen that brand before. I bet it must be expensive. I haven't finished making the music box. I had hoped that it would be her Valentine's Day present. I'll just give it to her later. Hopefully, she can forgive me. It's been quiet for some time since I last talked to Father Matthew. He's always asking how I'm doing after Sunday service, but I tend to ignore him whenever possible. I know it's wrong. I need to find a way to make amends with him. The grass has been growing wild lately. The weeds are everywhere and Andrew's not here. Actually, he hasn't been here for quite a while now. I wonder what happened to him. I should visit him after work tomorrow. I was about to pick Andrew up for work when I found him laying unconscious on the floor. There was an empty bottle of sleeping pills on the table. I immediately called the ambulance. According to the nurse, this is Andrew's third suicide attempt. She's glad that I saved him in time. An hour later and he could have died. I don't know why Andrew would commit suicide. What I know is that he must be lonely. He needs a friend. I visited Andrew at the hospital today. He's out of ER and is recovering quite well. While I was cutting the fruits, he told me his story. In 1972, there was a maid who came to work at the mansion. Her name was Sophia. She was a hard-working young lady with a great personality. She was loved by many. A few years into her job, however, she had an affair with Charles. A child was born. When Vivian found out, she was furious and decided to kick her out of Painscreek. What happened after that was a tragedy. On June 26, 1975, at 11 p.m., Vivian, Dr. Johnson, and Andrew confronted Sophia. A fight broke out. Sophia fell and hit her head on a nearby well. She stopped moving. Dr. Johnson checked and realized she was dead. Her neck had broken. No one knew what to do. Vivian then asked Andrew to take care of the body and her baby. Andrew did what he had to do to protect Vivian. After that night, they vowed never to tell anyone about the incident. Before leaving, I asked Andrew what the baby's name was. He said it was Vincent. As I left the hospital, I couldn't help but pity Andrew. He's lived a confusing life, and the struggle shows. I hope he can heal. Oh. So Vivian, Andrew, Dr. Johnson, killed Sophia. Vivian, Andrew, and Dr. Johnson are all dead now. Coincidence? I think not. So bam, mystery solved. The ghost did it. I mean, yeah, we solved the mystery, guys. 'Twas a ghost. Is there anything else down here I need? You don't believe it? Oh, I could have turned the light on. I keep forgetting there's actually lights in this game. me go back down there. It didn't... Yeah, I guess that really is all that's in here. Just that. Okay. I don't believe it was the butler with the candlestick in the library. For one thing, I haven't found a library yet. I have found a butler and a candlestick, but no library. We are going to stop here for today. I think this is a good stopping point. We have made a lot of progress. We got a lot of clues. Best of all, we figured out how to use the camera so we can take even more clues. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't think it was the butler. Watch it be the butler. Watch you be right. Yep. Well, remember there was an axe missing. So the murder weapon could be an axe. We don't know how she died yet. I don't think any of the clues told us how she died. Just that she died. I don't think the clues told us how she died. It's Lizzie Borden. Anyway, thank you for watching me play this game, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it. It's getting juicier and juicier as we go along. Poor Sophia, though, man. She slept with the wrong guy, and she died, and her baby died, and then Andrew died, and then the doctor died, and Vivian died, and everyone's dying. And who knows what happened to the investigator? The investigator just disappeared. We don't know what happened to him. So, I guess we don't care what happened to him. We still need to get power on in the hospital. So we'll figure all that out in the next episode. Until then, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. The investigation person was a fake. They did it. Until then, stay spooky. And I will see you all later. Bye, guys.